I mean, I guess maybe I can explain my feelings about my stressors kind of the way I've been explaining them to like mental health care providers when I'm asking for their help or talking about what I'm dealing with. I mean, I don't usually tend to really talk that much about the specifics of the larger stressors on my life. You know, I mean, I really, they're so beyond anything I ever thought I would be dealing with. I really never thought that I would be in the situation that I'm in. And it's a lot of pressure, you know, and I think I do tend to feel a little overwhelmed in terms of there's nowhere higher that I could go in terms of people being aware of me except for like God. You know, I mean, it's hard, and that's hard. That's really hard, you know, because I feel like, I mean, my every mistake feels costly to me, and that's hard. It's just really hard, you know, and it's a very strange time in my life. And then of course the pressures of like the videos, it's just like this horrible disaster in my life that is always there to be upsetting for me. And then and you know, my being stigmatized before and now of course that has just made the stigmatization of me so much worse. And part of what's like in terms of my looking for housing, trying to find work, that kind of thing. I mean, it's those larger pressures, particularly the stigmatizing ones. And also sort of the level that I'm at in terms of how close I can get to people, and where they're at in their lives and that kind of thing is very isolating. But also, you know, the stigmatization is such that it encroaches on my ability to do anything really, to find housing. You know, I'm totally getting just knocked around in situations that should be really not difficult at all. Finding housing with this voucher. Finding work, staying employed, staying housed, you know, and it's extremely upsetting to not be able to get those things done. It really is very, very upsetting. I mean, that when it's like right up close to me, and I'm dealing with direct and immediate and important examples of how this propaganda about me and everything that's happened to me because of other people's treatment of me like directly affects my life. That's very hard for me to deal with. I'm like, well, but I can't just let this voucher expire, you know, but I'm not in control of whether or not somebody decides to rent to me, right? I mean, it's that type of thing is just really, really, really upsetting. So, you know, and it gets to me. And even if when those things, if and when, well, I'll just say if and when, you know, I'll try to be optimistic about it. If and when the housing situation works out, and if and when I'm able to find work and keep work, and if and when I'm able to go back to school and move on with my life, those videos are never going away. And that's really hard. That's not something I ever would have chosen to do. And no matter what people are trying to tell themselves about how I feel about it, that's how I feel about it, and it's how I'm always going to feel about it. It's not alright that this happened. It is not.